Today, you will learn how to populate Python containers in just one line using powerful comprehension syntax. But here's the catch. Not all the containers support comprehension in the same way, and some might surprise you. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I am David, your guide to mastering programming. In some of my previous videos, I talked about generators, and I showed this simple example. For such a simple thing, like creating a sequence of numbers, I had to create a function and use a loop to do that. But with generator expressions, I can compress this code in one simple line. To create a generator expression, first I need to write a variable name, then open the parentheses and here write what I want to return, what variable. For example, I want to return my variable I, and then I need to write this for loop for I in range 5. This line of code is the same line of code as this one here. Also, generator expressions have the same properties as regular generators. But generator expressions can't be that complex, since I have to write the whole generator expression in just one line. Also, generator expressions are lazy as well, so when you go through a generator once, you can't go through it again. I will show you that. Now when I print A2, and if I want to print A2 again, this will print me an empty line. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thanks for your support. Now when I run this code, as you can see, the first generator printed 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the generator expression did the same thing, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as I have told you, the last line is empty, because generator expressions are lazy as well. Let me explain you once again how this syntax works. First, here, you write what you want to return, what variable or some operation on that variable. For example, maybe I want to square that variable. This will also work. Then I write the for loop, which tells Python that this is a sequence of numbers that will go from 0 until 5, and that I want to return this a squared. I mean I squared. Now that you know how to use generator expressions, it will be easier to understand how list comprehension works, since they have the same syntax, but they're not the same. The main difference is that list comprehension returns an actual list, which is stored in memory, while generator expression returns a generator that can create elements only when they're needed. So, to create a list comprehension, first I need the name of a list, then I need to open the square braces. Only the braces are the difference between the syntax of generator expressions and list expressions. I mean, list comprehensions. So here I want to return I and then for I in range 3. Now I can print I, and I will show you that I can print I again. That this list comprehension doesn't create a list lazily, which means I can iterate through it multiple times. As you can see, 0, 1, and 2 is printed, and 0, 1, and 2 is printed again. But sometimes maybe you want some if and else, and depending on some conditions, you want to set a different value to return. In that case, you need to write here if and then write your condition. For example, I want to check if my number is even. If it's even, I want it to return I. As before, the thing that you want to return, I mean, the variable that you want to return, has to be at the first place, as you can see here. And all the for loops have to be last. As you can see, the for loop here is last, and in between there can be some conditions. I mean, some control flow elements like if and else. As you can see, there is some red outline here, which means that I have to write else as well. When you write list comprehension and generator expressions, you can't have just one if. You always have to have if and else. Here I'll write else in and I will return -I. So now I expect to see 0, -1, and 2. As you can see, 0, -1, and 2. How this code works: first, it goes from elements until 3 and checks. If I is even, then return I. If I is not even, if it's odd, return -I. Also, you can have multiple fors. For example, I can here have for j in range 2. What do you think will be printed now? Write down in the comments below. As you can see, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2 is printed. When writing fors, the first for will be the most outer one, while the rest of the fors will be inner and inner. This line of code is the same as this one. B will be empty list, and here I will have for I in range 3, then for j in range 2, b dot append I. Now when I print b, I expect a and b to have the same values, which means that this line of code and this piece of code are the same. As you can see, the first line and the second line printed are completely the same. Other container types that support comprehension are sets and dictionaries. To create a set comprehension, I have to replace these square braces with curly braces. And now when I print A, as you can see, this will print 0, 1, and 2 because sets can't have multiple elements. As you can see, 0, 1, and 2 are printed. To create a dictionary, I need to write two values. First will be the key value, and the second will be the value. Also, the syntax has to mimic the syntax of dictionaries when we are creating them regularly, which means here I need to write colon and then write the value. But I want to show you some useful function as well. Enumerate function, which will enumerate all the numbers in this sequence here. And if I want to tell the enumerate function to start counting from a certain number, let's say 5, I need to write start and then equal 5. Now this will start the counting from 5. And here I need to get both of these values and return them, I and j, and here print I and j. Now when I run this, as you can see, 5 is the key and 0 is the value. 6 is the key and 1 is the value. 7 is the key and 2 is the value. There are three types that don't support comprehensions. These types are tuple, deque, and string. You can still use comprehensions, but you have to use them by typecasting the generator expression, which means if I want to create a tuple, I need to write here tuple typecast and then write the generator expression. For example, the most basic one for I in range 3. Now when I run this, I expect to see a regular tuple. As you can see, 0, 1, and 2 are printed. If I want a deque, for example, first I need to import it from collections module. From collections, import deque. And here I need to write deque. Now when I run this, I will also print here type of A, so you can see that the type is indeed deque. As you can see, deque 0, 1, and 2 is printed. With strings, you need to use join function. What I mean by that, you need to write here empty, then dot join, and here I need to convert this I in string. This dot join function will join everything that is passed here with this separation. Since I pass here an empty string, there will be no separation. Now when I run this, I expect to see 0, 1, and 2 printed all together and I expect to see string as a type. As you can see, 0, 1, and 2 are printed all together, and string is the type. I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video. Until then, keep coding.